here with award-winning actor Blair Underwood. You've known him from LA Law, The Event, When They See Us. He has played everything from a high-powered attorney to the President of the United States to Jesus Christ. Now we're going to talk to Blair Underwood about his new role on Broadway.
Unless you want charges brought against you for interfering in a criminal investigation, stay the hell out of my way.
Playing in the iconic Pulitzer Prize-winning play, A Soldier's Play. Blair, welcome.
Well, thank you, Derek. I'm so glad you said A Soldier's Play, because I cannot tell you how many people say, oh, so it's a movie. You're doing a play after the movie. And you will say, no. As you said, it's a Pulitzer Prize-winning play from 1982. And was a movie in '83 starring Denzel Washington and Howard Rollins and David Alan Grier, featuring him as a young man. So yeah, it's the play that initially started the whole life force of A Soldier's Play that became A Soldier's Story in the film, and now we're doing A Soldier's Play, first time on Broadway.
Why do you think it took so long for it to arrive, to be a revival on Broadway? It's such an iconic play.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. You know, it makes you wonder. I will tell you this: it's a story of 12 cast members, 9 African American men, 3 white brothers on stage, and it's 12 male ensemble. It's a drama. You know, we're not singing and dancing. It's a drama. So it's a different type of beast. It is first and foremost a murder mystery, and then you start to unlayer and unpack all these 12 different characters. And more specifically from the black male perspective, you have 9 different men on stage. Each one is different in our flavor and our flow and our swag and our intellect and our, our geographical roots. And it's like an ensemble orchestra playing this jazz music.
It's an opportunity to see black men in not one note.
Yeah.
Is that what attracted you to be a part of this production at this time?
Absolutely. You know, the number of boxes that were checked. First of all, Kenny Leon as director. This is Kenny's 15th Broadway play that he's directed. I don't know if many directors can say that, and definitely not black directors. The fact that David Alan Grier was in it at the time.
You got a real comic streak in you, boy. Wilkie, look like we got us a wise-ass Alabama boy here. Now don't get smart.
And the fact that it is this play, A Soldier's Play, and the writing itself from Charles Fuller, but also specifically with the character that I was playing, the fact that he's Captain Davenport. He's a lawyer. He's a trained lawyer. He's on this base in 1944. We should set it up as 1944 New Orleans and Fort Neal, Louisiana. So it's during World War II. It's an all-black regiment. There are no places for a lawyer in the military, on military bases. So he's relegated to the military police unit. He's an MP, military police. So this case happens, and he gets a chance to kind of just use his skill set to investigate this murder. And he's also the narrator of the play. You know, he's like 3 monologues where he kind of sets the stage and resets the table so you know where we are, what we're seeing, what we're doing. And you see it through his vantage point, his perspective, and his eyes. So, to me, it was very, very rich character. I think it may be easy to look at this character and say he's just asking the questions. But if we do our job right, if I do my job right, you'll see the man behind the interrogations and also how it affects him as a black man who has to bite his tongue often, who's trying to do his job. And what you have to understand also is that in 1944, there were only 5 black officers, as opposed to enlisted men, in the Army. Only 5. So, we see that. And if you've seen the movie Soldier Story, you see that when he walks in with these captain bars and that rank. This was like a unicorn. This was a black unicorn. Before Tiffany Haddish came along, it was a black unicorn. You wouldn't see this. So there's a great amount of regard and respect and awe of this black man in this position. But what does that do to that black man? He just wants to do his job.
You know how many times I've asked Nivens to look into this killing every day since it happened? Hines tell you that?
You suspect someone, Captain?
Don't play cat and mouse with me, soldier.
Captain, like it or not, I'm all you've got. I've been ordered to look into Sergeant Waters' death, and I intend to do exactly that.
Going back to Captain Davenport for a second, in portraying that role, did you draw upon your personal experience?
My father's retired Army colonel, full bird colonel, so we grew up on Army bases. That was my life, Army bases, until he retired when I was in high school. It was my access point to this character.
So this is your interpretation of how he would tell the story versus some of the previous versions that audiences may have seen?
Sure, I think any actor brings their own interpretation to every role. So it can never be about imitating anyone. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think any actor wants to imitate anyone else. You have to make it your own.
In terms of you as an actor, this is, you're coming back to Broadway.
Yeah.
You were on Broadway 2012,
Yeah.
Streetcar Named Desire.
Mm-hmm.
How is your approach to that medium different than film, different than television?
Live theater is my work of choice, you know, my drug of choice, if you will. So, you know, I love film and camera. I love the lens. The beauty of that work is what you do, what we're filming right now will last forever. But there's something you said for the live theater and the energy in that room, two people talking, an entity that is an audience communicating with the entities on stage, and that's something you cannot recreate. Every night is going to be different. So there's an electricity to that. There's an excitement to that. There's a thrill ride aspect to that. So that's what I love. That's why I say it's a drug of choice, because it's a high. It's a high when you do it and do it right and get it right, and you're feeling and flowing with that audience, and they're with you, whether you're laughing or you're crying or you're making them think. Whatever it is, it's a high wire act, but it's a ride.